Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on Monday, January 22nd at around about 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. The snow has melted, it's warm, it's up to 55, it was up to like 45 yesterday, and it was up to like, almost 40 the day before. So we've had 3 days of warm weather and all the snow is melted. Yay! Now we're getting rain, which is okay, but I think we're not going to get as much rain as they said we were going to get. So, we might be getting ready to break out of this god-awful pattern here. I can get down my driveway and get my mail, and although I haven't done it today because the mail doesn't come to about 4 anyway, and it started raining and I don't want to go trucking down there in the rain. So yeah, alright, and it looks like the pattern's going to hold. It looks like we've probably broken out of this extreme cold, let's go out and get killed in the weather pattern here. So hello, I haven't done this in a kind of like a set format for a while, which I got lazy. Well, it was cold, and you get lazy when it gets cold. Your body kind of slows down for self-preservation. Here's our friend, the dusky gopher frog, found in one Mississippi pond. Apparently there's a population of about 100 down in this one Mississippi pond. So of course the federal government is trying to basically make it almost impossible for this man to use his land. They're saying this frog's endangered. Well, I don't know. If you're down to a breeding population of about 100, and that assumes they can all breed, I think the horse may be already, well down the road on that issue. Not to mix my metaphors. That the last bit of spawn or whatever that stuff's called that the male frog puts out, it's floating down the damn stream or something on that one. So. But apparently, Weyerhaeuser over in Louisiana has, I think, 50 acres, maybe more, that they want to develop for, for timber harvesting. They plant trees, they grow up, they cut them down, they make whatever they make out of it, and then they plant it again, and keeps going on. But the federal government basically says in its wisdom that, there are a number of ponds nearby or on that property, it must be more than 50 acres, that are suitable for this frog. Well, they're not proposing to actually take the frogs over there and put them in those ponds, or buy the land from the landowners, on a development, like pay them development prices, No. They're just saying, okay, you can't use that land. Supreme Court's going to hear the case. It'd be nice to have the private owners win one of these for a change. We can only hope. Anyway, it is a nice looking frog, isn't it? It's kind of neat. Well, that's not really what I wanted to talk to you about today. I wanted to tell you a bit of, well, it's kind of almost a story now. Apparently there is such a beast. I thought it was a mythical beast, but apparently there's a real actual beast or creature called Google customer service, like via phone, or via, you can call them on the phone. You can get a Google customer service rep to talk to you. Now, admittedly, they're not going to tell you how to do it. So what do you have to do? You have to Google how to do it, and there's a Wikipedia article that tells you how to do it. It worked for me the other day. what had happened was I wanted to watch Godfather 3. Well, I had watched Godfather 2 off of YouTube. You know, I rented the movie off of YouTube. You know, there's a, you know, watch for $2.99 or $3.99 if you want to watch it in HD. And you get access to it for 48 hours, and then, you know, then the rental period closes. I did that for Godfather 2. It worked fine. You know, I clicked, I paid with my credit card, and went to the iTunes store, and you know, then I think they must have sent me an email, because I remember I had to click on a link in the email, and then I watched the movie. It was great, worked fine, worked for 48 hours, because I had to go back to it a couple times. Not because it didn't work, but because that's just, you know, you know, other things happened that I had to, you know, interrupt myself. So I assumed Godfather 3 would be the same way. It's a 3-hour movie. I wanted to have, you know, I knew there was going to be 3 hours where pretty much nothing was likely to happen to interrupt me. Because I screen record this, you know, and you don't want stuff happening, you know. Well, they said they'd send an email to my, to a Gmail account that I no longer use. Well, in fact, I've inactivated it. It just doesn't work. It was my original Gmail account that I set up when I first got the computer back in 2012. I never used it. Never ever used it. Google, though, at one point tried to use it on my other computer to send me just this incredible cascade of email notices about whenever anybody commented on one of my videos. Well, listen, I've got 1,430 some videos up there. I've had a lot of comments. Well, not a lot. I don't get a lot. I mean, I get a decent amount of comments now on videos, and I'd get an email about every single one of them. I thought, how do I stop this? 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 So I just inactivated the Gmail account, and it stopped. End of problem. So I thought. But apparently, even though I had told Google, YouTube / whatever repeatedly that my email that I use is not a Gmail account, it's the second account I set up when it was actually the third account I set up when I got the computer that I use continually now, except for my Joseph Sebastian Kersey @Gmail account that I use for, you know, private YouTube related correspondence. And I've told you all about that before. For some reason, somewhere along the line, my YouTube settings or Google settings or whatever the hell settings got reset, so that they were saying that the email account that was this original Gmail account. That's not the case. So I thought, well, I'm just shit out of luck here. I've lost, you know, that's $4.27 out the drain there, you know. So I looked around and I found a phone number for Google customer service. I don't think I have it written down here right now. No, I don't think it's readily here right now. Anyway, it exists. Look on Wikipedia. Of course, the great thing about the comment thread below this little article was somebody said there is no such thing as Google customer service. Well, that had always been my experience up to this point. You know, you try to contact, you can't. There's no way to get hold of them. Well, yes, there is, or at least the other night there was. So I called this number. I actually got a living, breathing human being that sounded like they were actually in the United States and were relatively native English language speakers. Now right there, I mean, you're winning the battle like 85–90% of the time over any other kind of experience you're going to have with customer service anywhere. And I explained my dilemma. Now, we reached a bit of an impasse when this young woman kept asking me, what email account do you use to sign into YouTube? Well, I've never used an email account to sign into YouTube. I have YouTube bookmarked in both Safari and Chrome, and I just I don't sign in at all. I just click on my bookmark in my whatever browser I'm using. I usually watch it out of Chrome because YouTube plays better in Chrome than Safari. And so I click on that bookmark and wham, there's YouTube. You're right to my channel page. Boom. So I can go to my subscriptions or my video manager or whatever, or my notifications. And yes, but I don't sign in to YouTube from an email account. Well, when she finally understood that we were talking like sort of like ships in the night, just closely passing by each other without understanding each other, then she could work with me, and she did. And it took about 35–40 minutes to talk me through how to do this stuff. And apparently you have to go back and reset all of your YouTube settings and this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other. And I don't know if I've completely messed up things, but so far YouTube seems to be working okay for me. But yeah, it's out there. It's out there. You know, it's a Wikipedia article on Google how to reach Google customer service. It's out there. It exists. And at least in this one instance, my sample of one, my series of one, you know, I guess they call that a study nowadays. Nowadays, you know, it's a study. I did a study, you know, sample, you know, n number equals 1. Yeah. So, you know, we always speak the truth and peace and love here on the Joe Kersey channel, and I gotta say, they did right by me on this one, and, you know, and refunded my money and the whole bit. So that was my little adventure here about 3 days ago now, I think. So yesterday was Sunday. I blew off church again. I just couldn't face that. Plus there was this absolute, you know, sheet of ice still on the driveway. I said, I'm not going to walk down that driveway in the dark and risk my life just to go hear some guy telling me to get my ass off the pew and do again and again and again and again and again. You know, yeah, okay. We're all supposed to try to live our life as Christ told us to live our lives, but you know, sometimes you just got to actually talk about the scripture rather than harangue people. You know. So, as the rain, we're not going to get as much rain as they're talking about, I don't think. Now, we do have a little bit of water in the basement right now, and that always happens when you have melted water on frozen ground, you know, and it comes up in the basement a bit. Not a lot. You can make it just almost enough, just make it damp a bit in some areas, you know. Maybe about a 2 millimeter layer, you know. It's not bad, and it drains out just about as fast as it comes in. So on that, I'm going to shave off the winter beard tomorrow and chop off a bit of my hair tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I said screw it. You all know what I'm like anyway. So bye bye.